Hi everyone, my name is Mags from Imagine Festival of Ideas and Politics. We're in a really exciting time right now as we get ready for Imagine 2026. The festival will run next year from 23rd to the 29th of March. This video is going to walk you through our event submission process. So, if you haven't met me before, I'm Mags White O'Kane and I joined Imagine as Festival Director in October 2024. And together with our Board of Trustees and wonderful event support team, I delivered my first Imagine Festival back in March this year, welcoming over 20,000 attendees in 50 venues across Belfast and online. So, if this is your first time submitting an idea for Imagine Festival, a huge welcome. I can't wait to hear what you've got planned and to get to know you. So you might be a returning applicant, and if so, you'll notice a couple of tweaks this year. So the biggest change is that we've added a section about financial support for your event, and I'll talk a bit about that later. We'd love to hear from people that are new to Imagine, and we will prioritise events that we haven't featured before. So, what is the Imagine Festival all about? Simply put, we want to platform cultural events and conversations that lead to a better world. Our mission is to be the go-to platform for discussing big contemporary issues and new ideas in politics, culture and activism. So your events should align with our core values. We want to challenge old ideas, provoke meaningful dialogue, share knowledge, champion diversity and empower creative voices. So we actively encourage events that include underrepresented groups, and we're not afraid to tackle controversial issues. So, if your event is inspiring, stimulating and committed to promoting equality and good relations, then we want to hear from you. So please watch this full video, and it would be a good idea to have the application form open as you follow along. This is available on imaginebelfast.com/2026-submissions. When you're filling out the form, you'll want the event title to be short and snappy with an absolute 75 character limit. Please use a working title if you don't have a final one yet. This is grand and we know that it's subject to change. The date, however, must fall between the start and the end of our festival, so 23rd to 29th of March 2026. It could be an exhibition that runs all week or a one-off event. We'll only consider repeat events, for example, a tour or a workshop that runs twice on very rare occasions. And if an event sells out immediately, we can always add an additional session due to demand. So the time and duration fields are pretty self-explanatory. However, please note, if your event is selected for Imagine, we will ask for more details. For example, what time should your audience arrive in advance of the event? But for now, just your proposed start time is fine. And this could even be as general as morning, afternoon or evening. So for the format, we're open to in-person, virtual or even hybrid events. So moving on to the short description. That'll be a simple one-liner describing your event. For example, a talk revealing James Connolly's recently rediscovered, often humorous short stories. Gain new insights into this revolutionary thinker and socialist writer. So the 25 word limit is there to keep the short description engaging and simple. It's there to ensure clarity. So the 300 word summary is your opportunity to tell us more about your event. It doesn't have to be the finished article, but again, please do try to keep it simple. So a good trick is to try and explain your event to an audience member who's no idea what to expect. Try addressing who, what, where, why and how for this. And feel free to stick a load of info into your friendly AI bot to edit for clarity, because that's what I do. Just to reiterate, this is an event idea submission. We're here to help you polish and finalise your text for the final programme of events. The key is that we understand your idea and the event you're proposing. Okay, so what about anticipated audience numbers? So you might or might not have a venue in mind for your event. However, we'd like to hear how many people you would like in your audience. Maybe this is a niche event, talk or workshop, so it'd be a good fit for 10 to 12 people. Or maybe a music event for 50 to 100. This won't be set in stone at this stage, so please just give us a rough idea of the size of audience you'd be comfortable with. Or perhaps at this stage you already know how many your venue will hold. If this is a visual arts exhibition, for example, or a walk-in event in an open space, just make this clear in your event description. It's fine to state it's not applicable at this stage. Ticket prices can vary, and most Imagine events are free, though we totally get that you need to cover your costs, and I'm going to talk more about funding in the next section. So if you plan to charge admission, please keep your ticket prices reasonable. So we found that when events are completely free, a lot of people sign up but don't actually show up. So to help with audience turnout and keep things accessible, this year we're offering a pay what you can model for some events. So please let us know in this section if you'd like to try this for your event. So finding the right physical venue takes us the most time. So we'd strongly encourage you to think about your preferred location before submitting your proposal. Many Belfast venues have worked with us before, and some even set aside rooms for Imagine. So if you have a contact at a venue you love, feel free to have a chat with them beforehand. Are you student or academic? Consider booking a space at your university or college. And if you've truly no idea, that is totally fine. We're happy to help match you with a great venue. So we particularly love quirky, non-traditional spaces. So get creative. Just make sure that they're safe, accessible and fit for your events. As for tech, we're not expecting full tech specs or detail lists in the technical requirements section of this form right now. Just an idea of whether you might need us to provide anything, and this could be as simple as a projector and screen, a couple of mics or a table for a workshop. And under details of your previous work, so here you can let us know about any useful information about other work and engagement your organisation does. You'll have an opportunity to attach files at the end of the form, although that's not obligatory at this stage. So please use this section to paste in a link to your website, social or any relevant info about previous events you've organised. If you have a short bio, maybe your CV details handy, you can also pop that in this field. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, this section on financial support is brand new. So we really wanted to be upfront about the fact that Imagine can offer a subsidy to a small number of events and to clarify our decision-making process on that. However, just a quick note to manage expectations. We're a small arts charity with a very limited budget, and this support is finite. So Imagine Belfast are a not-for-profit charity, and therefore our events aren't designed to make a profit. But this funding is to help charities, individuals and community groups cover their costs and ensure they're not out of pocket. So in all cases, Imagine will provide administrative and design support, marketing and promotion, ticketing and box office services, feedback from your attendees, and we'll also provide you with post-event evaluation data. In addition, we'll provide you with volunteers and front of house support if needed. As a starting point, we will pay partners the net income from tickets sold from their events. So this is the ticket income if you're charging an entry fee, minus the box office fees. In most cases, event organisers find that this is enough to cover their costs. So if you do need more help, for example, if you're running an event in a space that charges £100 for room hire and you can't cover this through ticketing, you might be eligible for a small event subsidy. So the criteria for this will be covered in the next slide. We'll consider all applications for subsidy on an individual basis, and unfortunately we won't be able to subsidise every eligible event. But we would encourage you to be realistic about how much your event might cost to run. So artist fees, room hire, and in some cases technical support. So they can all be listed in this section. So the questions, let us know if you'd like to be considered for a subsidy. So if you think yes, then you'll answer questions 2 to 4. Question 2 asks about your organisational status. So in order to be eligible for this, you need to be a charity with the turnover less than £100,000, a community group, or an individual artist, facilitator or speaker. So if you need to give any more detail, or if you feel you fall outside these, then please just use the other field. Then please give a brief overview of what your event costs might be for the event and tell us why your event income will not cover the total cost of the event. For example, costs, room hire, £100, and why ticket income will not cover this. This is a free entry event. So simple as that. And lastly in this section, what's the alignment with the festival vision? It's so important that all our partner events reflect the spirit of Imagine. Your event must align with the festival's core vision and values. So please just click the link highlighted in pink on this page to check out our values. Then briefly tell us why your event is a great fit for what we're trying to achieve as a festival. All right, we're almost at the end. We're going to run through some final checks for your submission. So contact details. Please remember to fill in your personal and organisational information accurately in the selected box. Do read the fine print. Take a look at the confirmation points at the end of the form, which will detail the mission, aims and values of the festival, your agreement to abide by event guidelines, including promoting the full festival programme, risk assessment, safeguarding, health and safety, and public liability insurance. All the really fascinating stuff. The submission window opens on the 10th of October 2025 and the deadline is the 7th of November 2025. It should give you plenty of time, so mark that in your calendar. Finally, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video has been a helpful guide to this open call for our next festival, and I'm genuinely excited to read all your inspiring event ideas for Imagine 2026. If you have any questions at all, I'm here to help. Just send me an email. So take care for now, and we can't wait to share the amazing work that will shape next March's festival.